Hello, welcome back to Tockley, Thailand, home of the 334th Tactical Fighter Squadron, where we continue to follow 2nd Lieutenant Curtis Bradley as he tries to reach 100 missions in the F-105 Thunder Chief. It's nearly 1:30 in the afternoon on Monday, September 6th, as we are lifting off from Tockley for mission number 3. Today's mission is bringing us back up to Route Pack 4 for a little trip into the city of Nam Dinh, located right on the Red River Delta, where the river flows into the Gulf of Tonkin. Our target is a warehouse located within the port itself, so we'll be flying into the center of the city on this one. And to hit this target, we are loaded with a pair of M118 3,000-pound bombs, which was a fairly common real-world loadout for the F-105s during the war. The bombs are big and fat, but because they don't have any racking or anything like that, they have surprisingly low drag. In fact, our drag index today is the lowest it's been so far, at only 106. And if you recall, it was 155 in the first mission and like 120 something for the second. Max speed is still 525, and with our drag and weight, cruise speed today is Mach 0.85, up at 27,000 feet, so pretty fast and pretty high, which is neat to see considering the explosive power strapped under the wings. And if we look over here at our INS gauge, you can see that we have a ground speed of 506, which is just under the 510 that we originally calculated during the first two missions. So, once again, the game physics are proving to be pretty consistent with real-world expectations. And we've just drained the centerline tanks, so we are under 10,000 pounds of fuel, about 9,500 on the internal tanks now. Dialing out the radar screen, you can just see the coastline coming into view in the upper right. We are definitely over North Vietnam now. Down below us is the Ka River, leading its way out towards Vinh, and the Gulf. Out to our left is Laos, stretching away off into the distance towards Thailand. We've got some good Air Force representation out today. We have F-104s in bare metal silver, as well as F-4Cs with the early buzz numbers still on them, all before C camo is going to be applied. You can see these guys they're just outfitted for air combat. 3 tanks, 3 drop tanks, and nothing but missiles. So we have some good fighter protection covering our backs as we head in country today. And we're about 50 miles out from our initial point, so chopping the throttle, and we're going to begin our descent down to the low-level high-speed portion of the mission. In fact, we'll select the 3,000 pounders as we start to drop down. And there are MiGs in the area. It's really sort of gun-shy after that last mission. There was just dozens of MiGs, it felt like, and we lost 2 of our guys to them, so real happy to see the number of escorts we have going in today, and I'm going to start dropping down a little bit early to get down underneath the Vietnamese radars so they can't track us. Descending down through the clouds blindly, I'm going to set the radar to terrain avoidance mode. Just to the left of the radar is the module that I was talking about last time with the up and down buttons for actually setting the plane underneath the aircraft that the terrain avoidance is going to be set at. So right now it's at 500 feet underneath the aircraft. We could set that manually anywhere between 0 and 6,000 feet underneath us. So in actual bad weather, for example, dropping down through an overcast into rocky territory, the manual recommends setting 6,000 feet on the terrain avoidance. So as you drop down, you're well aware of what's underneath you or what's in front of you. And then as you get closer to the ground, you can sort of adjust that to a more realistic or useful altitude like 500 that we have here. None of that should be necessary here. The clouds are a little thick today, but they're certainly not an overcast, and they're nowhere near the actual ground.
I see them.
All right, here's our map. We got the Ma River coming up in front of us, leading out towards Tan Hoa. And just look at the massive friendly aircraft out over the coast, just out to our right. And we've got missiles flying. We got Fox 2 called. So out there, Oh, and we got F4s firing as well. There goes Fox 1s for Sparrows in the air. You can just see the coast out there. They are engaging MiGs just out to our right. One's down. Somebody just reported knocking a MiG down. Missiles still firing. Let's, we still got 20 miles to go. Let's get down on the deck a little bit faster. Because what's happening here, you saw from the map, we're basically going past all this combat, and then we're going to swing around to the right and behind it, hopefully getting into the target and avoiding MiGs and then getting out of the area. Here's the docks in Nam Dinh. This is where our target is. Very, very busy shipping area. International ships from all over the world coming in and out. We're just 6 miles out from the initial point now, grazing over the tops of the mountains. Got the shadows of the two wingmen out to our right, over the racing over the fields. We're at 525 knots, which if you convert that, that's about 600 miles an hour, which is what Colonel Jack Broughton describes in his book Thud Ridge as the speed the planes are traveling at. There we go, there's waypoint 4, heading over to waypoint 5. A little bit up on the nose as we swing over, heading in towards the target. Oh wow, right over some sort of small settlement. That's a little scary. Who knows what small arms fire might be coming up from there. People just out in their backyards with pistols and rifles and whatnot. 16 miles out to the target. There we go. You can see we're behind the combat. We're coming in from the west. Maximum speed, low altitude. We're gonna pop up right over this ridge. Oh no, we've lost a friendly. And another MiG down in kind. So there is intense air-to-air action going on out there. We're knocking MiGs down, but we're losing Phantoms maybe? I actually don't even know. Right over the top. And we got a clear run right into the port. We can see it in front of us. You can see the cranes and the cargo ships of the port. Nam Dinh itself. Ooh, small town just off to the right. Let's get over that as fast as we can. Six miles now. We're going to try something a little bit different today, so I'm going to wheel it over to the right, put it off 45 degrees off of my nose. There we go, full power. We're going to pull up to 30 degrees up and make our zoom climb up to altitude. Wingman's still with me. And I'm looking to identify the target. There it is. Those 4 large warehouses. Just slightly in from the coastline. That's what we need to hit today. There's 10,000 feet. Flak exploding right around us. Let's start ordering the guys into attack as I come up over the top as well. And I think we're going to hit the clouds just a little bit. Yeah, we can still see. Let's drop out of them as soon as we can. Bottom right warehouse is our primary target. There were 17,000 feet coming back over, 50 degrees down. A little less than 50 degrees. Now we're not quite as close as I would have liked, because now we got to shallow out the dive. Brakes out, maintaining 450 as we zoom down, looking for 6,500 feet. There we go, bombs away, pulling out of the dive. Brakes back in, we got to keep the speed up so that we actually have good control on the aircraft. And we've hit short. We've blown up a building, but not the right one. Proximity damage from the 3,000 pounders. We didn't hit the right goddamn building. Hopefully the wingmen have a little more luck than I did. Alright, 4's dropping somewhere. Are we going to see an explosion? I don't know. I'm just on my way out. Let's remind everybody, 2 and 3, attack my target. Oh, there's an impact out to the right, way out there. We're going to get down low and fast as we make our egress out over the coastline. Here comes 2 and 3. There we go. 2's bombs are off. 3's should be on their way towards the target already. Are we going to see an impact? Oh, there they are! They've landed in a neighborhood. They've blown up some random building, but missed the primary target. And I think 2 might have missed as well. So that's it. Everyone's dropped their bombs, and we have hit our egress waypoint. We've got 110 miles out to the next one. So we're just full power now. Full military power, and we're just going to make our exit. I think that we have missed the primary target this time out completely. Maybe we damaged it, because I did enough damage to blow up the building next to it. So maybe we'll get some points for damaging. There's a wingman coming in, and you'll notice that I equipped some AIM-9 Bravo Sidewinders today, so we actually have some air-to-air defense in case we need to use it. After the problem with last time, I think we just need to start equipping Sidewinders and sacrifice the 2 outboard bombs just to be able to defend ourselves. Alright, I'm just going to get all the wingmen back together, and we are going to get the hell out of here and head back to Thailand. Welcome to mission number 4 now. It's September 9th, it's Thursday, and we are on our longest mission so far, heading deep into Route Pack 5, which is the area that's northwest of Hanoi. So almost into the capital region, but just outside of it. Well within SAM range, I think, and for sure MiG range. So we're getting into the more difficult areas already. We're cruising at 20,000 feet at Mach 0.77 as we make our way up to the north. And our mission today is going to be to provide AAA suppression for a sister F-105 flight coming in to make a strike into the area. We're armed with CBU-24 cluster bombs and LAU-3 rocket pods, and as I select through the weapons, you can actually see the switches animating on the instrument panel, which is neat. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. You can see just how close we are to Hanoi today on the map. Our target is in the city of Phu Tho, which is right on the Red River. Yen Bai just up to our left, or to the northwest, and Viet Tri, a pretty big city, is going to be off to our right, and then just beyond Viet Tri is Hanoi itself. We are not making use of Thud Ridge yet, but we can see it on the map. It's just to the west of Phu Tho. It's that little finger of elevation that's between the 2 rivers. So that's a navigational point that we're going to be making use of in later missions. So not going quite so far, but pretty far today. Once again, the radio is alive with air combat going on out to our right as we begin our descent into the mountains. We've got a MiG down somewhere already, that's good news. But guys are still firing. Lots of activity out there, and if we can, if they can just suppress the MiGs and let us sneak into the target, that's going to be what we want to do. River just coming onto the radar. Oh shit, look at that, we have a fucking plane going down right in front of us. Something's crossing underneath us from left to right. What the fuck is that? That's friendly, I think. Okay, nearest bad guys, 1 o'clock at 9 miles, so we have flown right into the middle of some air combat. So whoever that was underneath us, I think, was probably a friendly, but that MiG was going down to our left, crashing into the hills. There's the Red River that I was just saying was on our radar, snaking away to the right. Oh yeah, looks like maybe that was Lion 2 underneath us. Lion 4 is out ahead of us, so we've got potential problems here. We are surrounded by enemy aircraft as we're coming in to approach the target. Let's get a little more speed, reduce the drag. The centerline tanks have been empty, so we're just going to punch those off. My own as well. Sleek up the aircraft just a little bit. We're coming down into the mountain peaks themselves. There's Futo out to the right. We're going to hit our initial point in just a moment here. Keeping the guys on my wing. Yanbai directly out in front of us. We want to avoid that. Historically, a very AAA dense area. So we'll just swing out to the right here. We're going to go right in this little valley between the two peaks. That's our target out ahead, Futo, on the far side of the Red River. That strike flight should be coming in. There's actually Yanbai Airfield out to the left, which at this point, 1965, would have been little more than a construction area, but in the game, fully represented here. So there's the strike flight out to our right and high. They're on their way in, so let's get showtime flight attacking these ground targets. The guys are in hot. We're looking for AAA. I think we got something out here to the right. Rockets away. Whoa, passing just in front of the nose. They're off. 3 cluster bombs off. And they miss. The target that we were actually aiming at was hit by the rockets. Our cluster bombs explode on the far side of the shore. As we pull up and away, sampans down in the river. There's a big-ass bridge, which I think is the primary target of the strike flight. Yes, there we go. We've got bomb impacts on the far shore, dropping the bridge. And a couple on the far side. We're directly over Futo now. What is this? We've got... Oh, no. I thought those were aircraft. Those are just tracer rounds. Over the heart of Futo now, pulling up nice and gingerly. So we don't crash into the heart of the city. We have a SAM launch out there somewhere, so SAMs are active. And as we come back around, I'm looking for more targets. We missed with that first round of cluster bombs. Let's do a little bit of a better job. This time out. What is that? That's a little shack or something. Oh, there we go. I've got a gun in this field. 12 o'clock low. Looks like a flak gun. Bombs away. 3 cluster bombs released once again. Pulling up. They disintegrate. Yes! And it's a direct hit, I believe. Looking for a smoke plume. Yeah, I think we demolished that thing. That's... Whoa! Wingman crisscrossing with me. Right over the target area. 3's in hot. We got another gun down there. I see puffs of flak coming up, so let's try to swing back around. Oh shit! We just fucking lost somebody. That was a wingman calling that they are hit. I don't see him. And I don't know who it was. Fuck. Was that a second guy? Nope, 4 and 2 still with me, so I think 3... I think 3 got hit. Oh, jeez. I heard that call, and I thought it was another guy. Another of my guys going down, but it's not. Alright, so coming back around on that target. 4 and 2 are off. Trying to locate that gun again. I think it was right here in this... Yep, there it is. I just saw the muzzle flash. He is still firing. We're coming in. We're going to drop the rest of our cluster bombs right on him. Here we go. Bombs away. We'll pull out, looking behind us for the damage. Yes, right in the center of the devastation. Up and over the top. A little bit of a victory roll. Switching over to rockets now as we have exhausted our cluster bombs. So let's come back around. We still have guns on both sides of the river here. Whew. Flak exploding very nearby. One of the things that I have to be very careful about in the F-105 is that I cannot treat it like it's an A1. Because my natural inclination is just to stay very close around the targets and do figure eights or tight turns to get back around. You can't do that in this aircraft. We gotta keep it up like above 400 knots. We got something out there in the field, so we're gonna move in on that. So we gotta make these very long circles to keep the speed up and come around. Oop, there he is. Just above the Pipper, 12 o'clock. Here comes a rocket barrage. And it's a direct hit. He is out of commission. Yes. So now pulling up and away. But we can't just spin back around on a dime. We gotta gain some altitude, keep the speed up, and make a big racetrack. And we've got a plume of smoke down there to the right. Something smoldering down in that field. Could that be a AAA gun blown up, or is that maybe where the wingman impacted into the ground? I don't know. Holy shit! Oh my god! Huge barrage of flak zeroing in on us. That must be radar controlled. There must be a radar van down here somewhere. Oh, and then we're out of it as quickly as we got into it. So it must be over behind us or to the left. I'm looking for more targets. KS-12 down to the right. Oh, and I actually just saw it fire now that I was looking at it. So right there in that little clump of trees on the shoreline, let's spin around to the left and give ourselves some room to work with. I'm not sure where 2 is. I don't see a new explosion down there, but he's working somewhere. Alright, so looking right there in that dark spot on the near shore, maybe right about there. There it is. It's between those 2 trees. Okay, so let's put the Pipper right on it. Rocket barrage. Oh, perfect! Saturated the whole area. Blew that sumbitch right up. We got another plume of smoke out beyond the city as well. I just told the wingmen to engage ground again. They seem to be already doing it, but just to remind them. Man, back into this frickin' flak again. So yeah, I think we... Whoa, wow! Right in front of the nose. That's definitely radar controlled, and there must be a group of guns off to the left somewhere. Whew. Jeez. There's somebody. Off to my right. Picking up a little bit of their own flak. And we still got guns out on the far side. Those fields on the far side of the river. That wingman was heading... looked like he was heading towards me, not like he was engaging. But we'll let them do their thing. Where is this guy? Ooh, I lost him. No, wait, there he is. He's between those trees. I see him. I see him. Right there next to that road. Last of the rockets. Away, and we pull out. And that is it for our ordnance. Look at that, we hit him. Took a blind shot from the exterior camera, but we were lined up well. We took it out. So there's one wingman. I assume is 2 and 4. Looks like everybody is has gone through their ordnance. So let's select waypoint 6. I think it's time to get everyone together. Return to formation, please. Showtime flight. And it's time to make our egress, and we are once again picking up that flak from wherever it's coming from. Over here, I guess. Let's get right down on the deck, and we're going to speed away. Our work here is done. Heading back south now, towards Laos. Just under 3,000 feet. AAA has gone quiet for the moment, but you never know when you're going to run over something that's going to open up on you unexpectedly, try to shoot you down. Right over the rice paddies, on our way out. Oh, over another little settlement just off to the left. Luckily, we're past them pretty quickly. And treetop level over the ridge. And we're on to waypoint 7, which is 100 miles away. Now, we do still have SAMs in the area, and we have MiGs, so I don't want to climb just yet up and over the top through these little valleys. We're just going to stay right down on the deck until we're a little bit further away, because I don't want to climb up into the SAM envelope, or right into the arms of waiting MiGs. That ridge looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I flew down that in a MiG-21 in the VPAF campaign.
Roger. I'm rejoining.
Let's remind Showtime to join up once again. I think they're doing it. I see some of the guys in the rearview mirror, but I just want to be sure that they're doing it. Right over the side of this mountain here, right through this little valley in the ridge line, and then we're down into this big open wide expanse on the far side.
Showtime 1. Red Crown. 10 plus bandits. Right
Nearest bandits are right 5 o'clock, 25 miles, and they're cruising out away from us, so they are not in pursuit of us at all. There's a wingman coming in behind me, and there's a second one behind him, so there's my guys. Big mountain in front of us. I think it's a perfectly good time to start climbing, since those MiGs appear to not be a factor. So we'll switch back over to ground radar, and we're going to climb back up to 35,000 feet and head back to Thailand now. So I think this mission is pretty well wrapped up. We did really good other than the loss of my number 3. And I'm not sure exactly what happened. So maybe, I think before we move on from this mission, I'll just check with the roster and see what the fate of that pilot is. Yeah, so here, 11:42:45, Captain Brown was hit by 57mm AAA cannon and was shot down. He is now missing in action, Captain Bruce Brown. He had 24 combat missions, but he is no longer with us. And I'm not sure what happened or where he went down, but if he's MIA that far north, that just might mean that he, unfortunately, is dead. But either way, we're down another pilot in the 334th. Mission number 5 now, September 11th, 1965. It's Saturday morning, 6:46, and here we are at a much improved looking Tak Lee Royal Thai Air Force Base in Thailand, getting ready for our mission into North Vietnam today. It's early morning and it's thick overcast up there, so we have a pretty dark day once again. Nav lights on as we take off, and we'll climb up through the clouds, and I'll click them off once we're up in the sunlight again, but pretty dark day. Today we are Buick Flight, and we are sporting a new weapons loadout that we haven't seen before. We're taking off at 47,300 pounds, armed with 4 Mark 83 1,000-pound bombs, a centerline drop tank, and the 2 Bravo Sidewinders for defense. The 1,000-pounders are pretty hard-hitting, and they are on the multiple ejector racks, but with the lower total weight and the fact that they are the streamlined style Mark 83s, we actually get some pretty good climb and cruise and speed out of them. So our speed limit is up to 525, and optimum cruise is going to be Mach 0.85 up at 27,000 feet again. So actually very similar to the 3,000-pounders that we hauled in a couple of missions ago. We're back down south again today into Rupak 3, just outside of Vin. And of course, with those big bombs under the wings, we are on a strike mission. And today's target is the Vinson Army Supply Depot, which is, as we see here, just northwest of Vin. We'll be approaching from the south over the top of the Ka River. We'll make our pop-up and then dive down on the target, of course having to stay underneath the cloud cover, which makes things a little more hairy. If we can't go up as high as we want, our dive is going to be a little more tricky to get lined up right, but we're going to see what we can do. So it's pretty interesting to note that our Sidewinders that we have equipped, those give us a drag of 12 apiece for a max of 24. So that's the same amount of drag as the centerline tank actually gives us. So they're causing quite a bit of drag, but again, necessary since we keep having these run-ins with MiGs. The AIM-9Bs weigh 155 pounds apiece, which is much, much lighter than some of the later variants. The AIM-9 Delta, which was the Navy version that followed up this, weighed 195 pounds, while the AIM-9E, which was the Air Force version, weighed 164. So we have this weight variation up through the different models, and they don't become uniform until the AIM-9 Lima, where they finally settled out at 190 pounds, and it looks like that's about, or that is what they're all at since then, all the newer variants. But the early variants, very interesting that they're sort of all over the place. And it should also be noted that the Bravo looks like it only had a 10-pound explosive, whereas the Delta, the Navy version, had a 24-pound explosive. So the Navy actually upped the warhead yield, and they also added some other equipment. I'm trying to remember what it was, to keep it cooled, I think. And that was the issue between the Navy and the Air Force Sidewinders, is that the Navy adopted a cooling system that was on board the missile, whereas the Air Force aircraft, the cooling system was on board the airplane, and so therefore had to plug the missile into it. And that's why the Delta and Echo ended up not being interchangeable between the two services. Okay, here we are up in the sunlight, 27,000 feet, Mach 0.85, so we are at cruise altitude. We're 43 miles out from our initial point, so you know what that means. Time to kill the throttle and drop the nose, so we'll set up the radar terrain avoidance at 13 miles. Let's start dropping down through this overcast to get down on the deck. You can see we got a big strike force out to the left with a bunch of escorts. Tuna Flight, I think, are F-105s. Dodge and Bison are our escort flights. Bison is ours specifically. That's a Navy flight of F-8s. So they're down behind us and to the left. So as we drop down, we'll actually keep the speed down to let them pass by us, or at least come up abreast of us, so any MiGs in front of us they can jump on and clear our path. Down under the overcast now. Visibility's still not that great down here. Pretty heavy haze today. Let's get Buick Flight nice and tight on me, so I can weave around these mountains and through the valleys and not have them... They wouldn't hit anything, I think, but they start to hit the afterburner and fly up over it, and then the formation gets all messed up. So wingmen, tight in with me, flying underneath the peaks as we look for the little divots and valleys.
Red Crown, Cobra lead. We're approaching our target 5 minutes. Cobra 1, Red Crown, copy.
Not quite up to max speed yet. Ooh, there we go. We've got a little valley right up here in this ridge line, and it looks like maybe we're out into the open valley beyond.
Bingo. Red crown. Dagger, please. We're approaching our target. 5 minutes. Dagger, 1. Red crown. Copy
Yeah,
that.
we're just a couple miles out. We're at 475 for speed, so yeah, look at this. There's the Ka River out on the horizon. We're going to blast down this mountainside just to a couple thousand feet above the fields, and we're going to be up to full power and max speed up at 525. So we'll let the speed come up as we drop the nose. And we're getting calls for bandits only 15 miles off to my left. That is bad news. As we hit waypoint 4 around in the turn, coming down onto the deck. Keep the guys on my wing. Stay with me, Buick. We're just a few miles behind us. Those F8s should be... Oh! And I just heard and saw MiGs. Yeah, they're passing right over us. They're diving down behind our squadron. There's one off to the left, pulling out of the dive. We're doing 525 now, or about 520. And we've got 3 lagging behind, so I'm trying to call them back into formation. In fact, we can spread them out a little bit now that we're out in the open. We've got some breathing room, so spread Buick flight out. Get them back together, looking for the target. There it is, just to the left of the reticle. We're 7 miles out. Wing leveler off as we prepare to zoom climb up to our 12,000 feet, or as high as we can make it. There's 5 miles. Up we go. Keep in mind, we still might have MiGs behind us, too, so we gotta fucking move our asses here. There's 5,000 feet. We're down to 4 miles. Guys are climbing with me. Let's get them in on the target. Down they go. Here is the other F-105 squadron behind us. Carpet bombing their target. Massive damage across the patties. And we're up at the bottom of the overcast, spinning over onto our backs. There's the target. We've got fire coming up from AAA and flak down below as we tip over the top. Hits right into the heart of the facility. Releasing our own bombs, letting the speed come up as we pull out. We're a little high in G's. Massive destruction all over the place behind us. We were pulling out a little bit harder than the recommended 4 Gs. We were actually up at 5. But the speed was still good. And we pulled out with plenty of altitude to go. Look at that. Just devastation across the plains. Whoop, and we're picking up some fire. They are not happy with us. Oh, shit. They're right on us, too. This might be radar controlled again. Okay, so those MiGs are still out there. And I don't know where my guys are, so... We got a J5 15 miles behind us over at 5 o'clock. Oh, there's somebody crossing out in front of us. What's that? F-105. Escorts are firing sidewinders. Where's this dam? We're 22 miles out to the egress waypoint, and let's just split these two sides. Look at this. Massive fires burning over in that tank farm to the left. And of course the damage over to our right that we've caused. We're back into this AAA area here. They're right on us. We'll just do a little bit of altitude changes. They're sort of right on us. Let's jink a little more aggressively.
I got one.
Whew.
Red Crown, stagger, please.
Alright, that J5 is out here that they called for.
Red Crown, copy that.
Oh, look at that. We got a blob of returns on the radar off to the left. And we have a single Bison aircraft out in front of us, which means all of these other guys are MiGs. You know what? We've got two Sidewinders. They're down to 10 miles in front of us. There's a MiG-17. That's a Fresco A. And he is right here. If he's, if our guy's in danger, let's dump the tanks. Clean up the aircraft. They were empty anyways. I've got the MiG right there, 12 o'clock high. Let's dial up some Sidewinders and see if we can do some damage. Get this guy off of Bison's back. Yeah, see, flak off to our left, so that's our buddy. Here's this MiG. Oh, now he's diving down towards the river. Oh, he's cutting back to the right. Has he seen me, or is he just changing direction? Hard to tell. Oh, look at that. He's pulling up right into the sky. No ground return. The Sidewinders should be able to pick him up pretty easy. There we go. We got Tone. Fox 2. First one's a dud. Second one away. Flares? What? Fucking flares just came out of that MiG. Shit. Well, we've switched over to guns. We're up and over the top. Bleeding some speed to stay behind him. Oh, is he going to pull up right into the guns? Yes. No. Oh, he's... Shit. Outmaneuvering me, pulling back down, diving towards the deck. That's way tighter than we can turn. 2 is not attacking. I've just told 3 to engage air. 2, cover me instead. I don't know why they're not, can they not see him? Are they too far away? 2 would not attack him for some reason, and I don't know why. Now I've lost him, because we gotta go wide. I hear him! Oh, there he is! He's cutting back in on me. Oh, shit. See, now he's on my 6. 2, cover me! The fuck did you go? Oh my god, we are way too slow to be doing... I didn't realize how slow we were. We gotta dive for the deck. Let's get some speed. Cover me. Oh no, we've been hit! We've been hit! I've caught a round! Pieces flying off. I don't know how bad the damage is. But we're over 400 knots, finally. Heading back towards the ground, just trading altitude for airspeed. Flight 1, attack this guy. Now 2 will attack him. What the fuck? He had to tell him 3 times. Okay, we've got the speed to go vertical now. Oh, we're trailing fuel. We're at 4,000 pounds now. We're trailing fuel from somewhere. This is not fucking good. Immelman up over the top. I think we're just gonna... We're gonna use this altitude to clear out of here. Oh good, our waypoint is actually in this direction. Now the guys see the bandits. Why were you not with me when I told you to cover my ass? Who does? Alright, well, we're off the burner. Let's just start climbing up to altitude, because we're going to get out of here. Ooh, I hear another VK-1. I'm not sure where he went. I'm mostly worried about my wingmen, because they're not going to... If they get into air combat, they're not going to fight the way that you need to fight in the F-105 to stay alive. They're just going to try to turn with the MiGs, and they're going to get roasted. So, maybe I should just call them back into formation, I think. Because I'm definitely bugging out. I am disengaging. We're down at 3,000 pounds of fuel now. Okay, massive damage along the nose of the aircraft. Here's 3. You'll notice he's missing the afterburner nozzles out back, so he's taken some damage. Here's 4, who still has bombs on board but no sidewinders. So did he fire? He might have. Yeah, there's Buick 3. Yeah, let's tell him to get together. So the fuel leak has stopped. That's good. Here's 4 under attack from a MiG that's been chasing. Tell him to brake. There he goes. Full afterburner. He's actually braking. Don't pull into the rounds. Oh my god. This guy is all over him. He won't dump his bombs though. Oh, and he's off. I think he just ran out of ammunition. And we're down to 2,000 pounds of fuel now, so whatever tank was leaking before has emptied. Maybe the bomb bay tank. I'm not sure exactly what direction I got hit from. I guess if I was diving back down, he might have been in front of me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We've at least stopped the bleeding, because I was afraid that we were just going to run out of fuel back there over the mountains, and I was going to have to step out of the aircraft. But looks like we're good to go. If we're holding at 2,000 pounds, I can make it back on this, I think. As long as there's no other holes in any other freaking tanks. God damn it. So the trick with fighting with the F-105s is you have to cover each other as much as possible. And actually a lot of the Century fighters, the early Century fighters, you have to do that. For anyone who has played the desert campaigns in Strike Fighters 2, flying the F-100s against hunters, you know what I'm talking about. You got to use a lot of vertical, you got to use your power, because you can't turn with them, but you need to be able to almost use your wingmen as decoys, because if they're pulling in behind your guys, then you can pull in behind them. And it's a little difficult to try to tell the wingmen to act like that. But, oh man, so we tried. I tried my damnedest this time. But the fucking sidewinders failed me. And the MiG-17 shot out flares. So, man, I'm going to have to look into that. Because when I flew the J-5s, we definitely did not have flares. That was a MiG-17. That was like a Soviet MiG-17. This just feels a little early, 1965, to be having flares. So I'm going to look into that and see if that's realistic. Did I just get screwed out of a kill by an anachronism? We'll see. I'll check back in with you next time. But man, we tried to get a piece of that MiG, and I really got my ass burned on that time. So, fuck. I ran out of airspeed. That was the thing. Is I tried going into a vertical maneuver to defeat the MiG, but I wasn't starting with enough airspeed. I was under 300 knots, which is... anything under 400 knots in the F-105 is just bad. Like, 400 is... that's our speed we want to try to be above all the time. And so we started pitching up, and I looked down, and the airspeed tape was racing towards 250 going up, which is why I just abandoned that and then tried to flip back down and point the nose down to build the speed up, which is when the MiG fired at me and hit me. So, I gotta remember, I'm not flying an F4. I don't have the power to just stand it on its tail. Gotta manage the airspeed a little bit better. So that was bad, but the reputation for Republic building very sturdy aircraft has been proven once again. We just took several 23 millimeters to the airframe, and we are still flying. So, goddamn. Thank you very much to the fine people of Republic, because that shit almost cut this little campaign short. Alright, approach controller has got us as we're descending down back into Thailand. You can see we still have a good 1,500 pounds of fuel, so we are looking really good. I think we're going to make it in with no problems. We'll still have a good buffer amount of fuel to spare.
On they go.
Coming around in the 360, lining up for base and final. Just holding it under 200 knots. Letting the speed come down to that 188 of final approach speed. F-105's parked off on our right on the alert ramp. Over the threshold, letting the speed come down. Nice and easy. We've got some airframe damage. Let's not slam the aircraft down onto the ground, but we're good. We are safe and sound back home in one piece. It's Tuesday, September 14th, as we begin mission number 6. It's about noon o'clock, and we are heading into Route Pack 1 for a mission right on the DMZ, off on the west side of it. We're loaded up with Snake Eyes for the first time, Mark 82 500-pound Snake Eyes, and a rocket pod on the outboards. And actually we have a mixed bag today because that's how 1 and 2 are outfitted. My number 3 is loaded with the LAU-3 rocket pods, but also the White Bombs 8 and M47 white phosphorus bombs, so excellent for anti-infantry or other soft targets. And Tampa 4 has 2 cluster bombs, CBU-24Bs, on the outboards, and 8 BLU-10B napalms, 250-pound napalms, on the inboards, stacked up. So we've got some crazy firepower out here today, and here's why. We are on an armed reconnaissance out into the DMZ Northwest. So just on the other side here, right near Dong Hoi, on the North Vietnam side of the line, we're just going to be looking for targets of opportunity along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, coming out of North Vietnam, going down into Laos, maybe on their way to Cambodia, and eventually down to South Vietnam.
Tampa, lead.
We do have bogeys out there, 10 o'clock 50. They're going to be really far away, though. I would be super surprised to see MiGs this far south, because I mean, we are just right at the bottom of the country. This would be well outside their ground controller range. Now, similar to the AAA suppression mission, the key to fighting this kind of mission with the F-105 is going to be to keep the speed up and make wide circles and long passes. So it's going to be a lot of racetrack work, because doubling back on our path is just not gonna work. We're gonna bleed too much speed, and we're not gonna be well lined up for attack runs. So keeping the speed up and doing those racetracks, that's what we're gonna be seeing today. So I also wanted to check in regarding that MiG-17 flare launcher. And I know I have a lot of MiG fans who watch, so maybe there's a bunch of comments already typed out. But I did some digging, and it looks like that by 1953, MiGs were already equipped with a limited amount of flares. And what I'm getting that from is actually from a MiG-15 from the Korean War, flown by Lieutenant No Kim Sok, who defected in 1953, delivering this MiG-15 to the United States. So even that early, this thing was still equipped with the EK SR-46 flare launcher, which is, or was, the standard Soviet flare launching equipment. And that MiG is now on display at the U.S. Air Force Museum, and so I found a site that had some detailed pictures, and according to that, it actually specified that the EK SR-46 was located on the right side of the fuselage and could be loaded with red, blue, yellow, or white flares. And so looking in the files, I think the game has them loaded with like 8 to 12. It's a limited number. It's basically like one missile launch. You could pop flares and then you're done. So yes, The MiG-17s definitely had flare launchers, and the equipment went as far back as Korea on the earlier MiG-15s as well. But it's good to know that we basically have, if we can fire one missile at a MiG and make them expend those flares, then the second missile, might be good to go and actually find its target, assuming it doesn't fail, which we have a 90 or 82% chance that it will fail. Alright, there's our initial point. We're at 10,000 feet, and now we're going to be rolling over to the left, out towards the coast, which I can just barely see, I think, out on the horizon there, and also towards the edges of these mountains. And we saw earlier, I've got the snake eyes dialed up, which it'll be the first time that we've used those. I just wanted to give those a little workout today. Alright, we've got a little blob on our radar, just off to the right side. There's something out there.
Tampa, lead, Red Crown, bandit.
And somebody is engaging bandits
50 miles.
pretty far out there. That's, I believe that's the Ka River and Vin stretching out there, heading into the Gulf. Yeah, there's that blob. I don't think that there should be anything out here. That's not our primary target, but there's apparently something out here in the... oh, look at that. There it is. There's some sort of structure or base. What is that? Sort of looks like a tank storage area for petroleum, maybe? I'll bet we're looking at a Viet Cong fuel cache down there. Well, we've got a new blob out on our left, which is actually... I'm pretty sure that's going to be our primary target, because that's out where the point is. Let's see, can we start seeing... I think we got a convoy out at 11 o'clock low. Can we spot them? Yes, I spot them. There they are. Big, long line of trucks. Or vehicles of some sort. It's either trucks or bicycles. I've seen both. Okay. Wingmen are moving in. I just popped the brakes to let him get out in front of me. Let's make a run on this convoy. And just unleash hell on him. Actually, I'm going to switch over to rockets, because they're going to fire their rockets first as well. There they go. Munitions away. Oh, God, just high explosive white phosphorus rocket pods into the middle of the convoy. There goes ours as well. Just lighting them up. I'm just going to fire everything I've got. There we go. All the rockets are away through the smoke. And we have just fucked up somebody's day really bad. And we're off, pulling around, switching over to Snake Eye.
Copy that. Tampa, lead, Red Crown. Mission complete. Good job. Return to base.
We've completed the mission already, because we just destroyed so many trucks in that first pass. Circling around now, there's flak off to my left. So there may be some AAA down on the plains. We got to watch out for that. But as long as there's not any here up in the mountains, we should be safe at least for a little while to keep working this valley. 3's back in, 2's back in. And we're coming around on our backside here. Just holding 3Gs in that turn. Just have to be so gentle. 4G seems to really be sort of the optimal turning G load. Oh, look at that! More ordnance exploding, sparkling out there in the valley. I see 2 planes off, pulling up and away. As we come back around. Oh shit, there's actually so much smoke here, I can't see where the hell the fucking targets are. Well, we're just gonna guess. We'll release a couple of snake eyes as we come down. Here we go. Mark 82's away. Retardation fins popping out the back, slowing those bombs down so that we can get away from the explosion. And that looked like it hit right in the middle of the convoy as well. I think we got some hits with those.
You've got a bandit in your
Wingmen continuing to work. We'll come around now. Oh, there we go. Someone's releasing their bombs. We'll see who it was, what color they are. Was it the napalm or the clusters? I don't see anything so far. Oh, there we go. There's a couple of explosions. White phosphorus, maybe? I think so. Oh, there's the... Oh, napalm climbing right up the side of the hill there. A little far away from the targets, I think, but maybe... Maybe they were close enough. So that was 4 releasing that napalm. We're a little slow. We'll kick the burner in, because I'm being a looky-loo here. Push us up over the top. And we'll come back down on these targets here. Let's try to stay out of the clouds. Actually, I think this will work. This will work out a little perfectly. Yeah, it's going to offset us from the smoke, so I can actually see the trucks now. See them out there in front of the black smoke, leading away. So I actually have eyes on them now. We'll hit them with some more snake eyes on the way in. I've got wingmen coming back in too. Hopefully we're not going to all be in the zone together. Here comes 2 now as well. Alright, getting ready. Oh yeah, guys are calling off as we come over, drop the bombs. There's a wingman right in front, crossing paths. Snake Eyes hitting out towards the front of the convoy. Again, I don't know if we actually hit that time. They're on a downhill, and I think maybe the bombs sped past them. The first 2 might have hit some guys, though. Oh, more white phosphorus, lighting it up. More trucks destroyed. We're down to gun only at this point. We've exhausted all of our other ordnance, so time for some strafing runs as we come around next time. Zil 157s are the trucks. Russian-made truck. We're on the Vulcan now. Something we really haven't used much. We have not used the gun. I almost used it in the dogfight last time, but MiG got away from me and I never got around to it. There's a small explosion out there. Looks like 2 and 4 pulling out of the valley after successful runs. I'm having trouble locating the targets now because of that white phosphorus smoke. I think they must be right around there. Right? Oh, there we go. 3 right in front of us, lighting somebody up. Let's just spray the area in front and pull out. We are getting really hemmed in by the walls of this canyon now, or of this valley. Making work a little difficult, a little bit scary. I hope everyone will navigate that without any problems. We got flak out here. Is that my guys? Oh, look at that. We have a big facility. That must be where the flak's coming from. And we got a couple of aircraft out here to the left. What's this guy doing? What is that? Is that an F-105? Is he in trouble? Look at that. He's just standing on his tail. Now he's falling. Oh, shit. Is that somebody going down from flak damage? I can't tell who the fuck that is. Well, they're still flying. I think... Is that one of my guys? 3 and 4 are back over the targets, apparently. Let's see. Nope. No, all my guys are actually over there, so that must be... That's a different flight. That's somebody else doing something that is not us. Suppressing flak over there, maybe? I guess that would explain it. Alright, back over the targets now, coming around perpendicular. Oh, I can just see them off to the right. Head on with the wingman coming up out of the target area. And these guys are... Look at this, they're heading like right into this... Oh, this crevice here. We've got a hill coming into the way, blocking my target. Target is obscured. Oh, I heard an explosion, though. I think we got something. That was a blind shot if there ever was one. Yes! And then the crisscrossing wingmen. Guns blazing in behind me. Just a constant stream of lead going down into these remaining trucks, which I love to see. Alright, we don't really have a good angle on the targets anymore. Where are they? So they were going that... So they're like right down there in that crevice somewhere before the white smoke, I think. Well, we're not going to get an angle on them from here, so we'll just circle around. Yeah, that was a bad pass. And that's exactly why you have to go out with the F-105. You got to give yourself room to work. You got to go out and then come back around because she turns really, really wide and really slow. And you got to keep that speed up. What is that? That's a weird... Oh my god, that's not a munition. I think we just had a fucking aircraft fly into terrain. Oh no. There was 3 distinct pieces falling down into the valley. And I looked at it and I was like, what kind of bomb is that? I don't think it's a bomb. I think that was debris. We've got the smoke plume up on this crest. God damn it. I was just thinking, too, that it was about time to close up shop and get out of here with the difficult terrain and all of our weapons being depleted. Alright, I'm going to make one more pass. These guys are on the upside. Yeah, see that plume up there? Let's do one more pass on these trucks and then we're going to pull out of here. There we go, we got one more. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's definitely a crash. That's an F-105 carcass up there on that hill. 3 was still attacking, so let's remind everyone to get back into formation again, please. And watch out for this flak as we're egressing. Switch over to waypoint 7. Yeah, look, there's like a ton of flak out there along the shoreline. So let's just stay away from that and head south. Get out of the target area. That's one of my guys right there. He just plowed his way into the side of that mountain trying to get a... Oh, trying to get a kill in. Damn it. We'll have to figure out who it is in a second. But besides that, there's the remains of this convoy. Just nothing but garbage down there now, rotting in the jungle. That's a job well done. Alright, well, a decent mission today. It was going really great until we had controlled flight into terrain by one of the wingmen. So likely we've lost another pilot. I assume killed on impact. But we also really did a number on those Vietnamese trucks. So let's head back to base and let's find out what the final tally is. We'll see you back at Tockley. So here we are back at base, and yep, our number 4 Second Lieutenant Scott Gabriel killed in action. After 13 combat missions, too, and a bunch of air-to-ground, he was, stats-wise, he was a competent flyer. I don't know what happened. He was just making that attack run and flew into the mountain. Very sad and completely unnecessary. What a waste. And we're down by another pilot, unfortunately. We see here in the log, 12:35:55, Second Lieutenant Gabriel crashed near the Zombong Munitions Depot. That, by the way, must have been what I was looking at out over the coastal plains there, this munitions depot that was throwing up all that flak at us and whatever that other flight was of friendlies. Despite the very sad loss, this mission is considered an extreme success. We got a score of 2,600 points. We destroyed 24 targets. We lost the one F-105. But look at the remarks. Second Lieutenant Bradley is awarded a Silver Star. Our first award, and it's a freaking Silver Star for destroying a bunch of trucks. It's sort of unfortunate that the award system in the game is based solely on points awarded, and I don't know why trucks are worth so many points, compared to some of the other targets, but they are. We just blew so much shit up today that we have earned a Silver Star. So before we go, we're going to read that citation. Let's take a look at that. The President of the United States takes pride in presenting the Silver Star to Second Lieutenant Curtis Bradley, United States Air Force, for service as set forth in the following citation. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity as an F-105D Thunder Chief pilot, 334th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Eagles, in connection with military operations against an opposing armed forces over demilitarized Zone Northwest, North Vietnam, on 14 September 1965. On this date, Second Lieutenant Curtis Bradley's outstanding skill and courageous initiative were instrumental in his unit accomplishing its mission objective and inflicting heavy damage upon the enemy. His gallantry and devotion to duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit on him, his unit, and the United States Air Force. So there we go. Silver Star. We've got 6 missions now under our belt. That's going to be it for this episode. We got 4 in, this time 2 through 6, with a mixed variety of results and locales. I hope you enjoyed this one. Come back next time as we continue the campaign for another 4 or 5 missions. And we'll have to see what is in store next for our buddy Curtis Bradley. Hopefully his good luck remains in place, because he's going to need it. All right, we'll see you then.